So, today we're going to talk about essential oils, and this is something that I have not discussed with any Australasian audiences at all. And so, this is pretty appropriate now that you're launching three new oils in Australasia, and so we'll cover those. But here's how this call is going to go. I'm going to start with a little bit of background on essential oils, what they are, why we have them, how you make them, so on. I'll talk to you a little bit about carrier oils. That's very, very important because essential oils are very often thought of as aromatic, and of course they are. And people think about the health benefits from the aroma of the oils, particularly through a diffuser. And we have a beautiful diffuser at Manatech. Just happened to have that for you. But there's more than that. So these oils can be used for a variety of topical applications as well. And so you need to know about carrier oils. And then, besides talking about those three oils that Sinead had mentioned, I'm also going to talk to you about how to clean up the environment, how to clean up your environment, how to clean up your home and make your home so much healthier with one of our essential oils. So you'll have all of that in this call. I think there's lots and lots to talk about. Well, for those of you who may not be familiar with essential oils, they have been around literally for thousands of years. There is actually written record going back some 5,000 years talking about different essential oils, a couple of which we have in our product line, and one of which we will be talking about on this call. And of course, oils, the essential oils have been very, very highly valued over the centuries, some more than others, one of them being frankincense, of course, that we'll talk about today. And part of the reason is because of their value, their benefits, the things that they can do for your health. And part of the reason, of course, you know that the basic principle of value is based on the rarity of that item, whatever the item is. It takes a great deal, I mean, a great deal of plant material to make an essential oil. I mean, people don't think about this, but really a huge volume of, if it comes from tree bark, then that, or tree roots or whatever it is, it takes a great deal to get tiny, tiny amounts of oil out. Now, the oil, of course, will be very highly concentrated, and you will only need to use tiny amounts of the oil. So I think it gives you an excellent value as we talk about the various things that it does. So I want you to listen very carefully, as I always ask you to do in my trainings, because I'm going to give you some clues about things you can do with the oils that, well, you may not have thought of before, and I don't want you to miss that. So, because it's stuff that you may not see written in our standard sales and marketing literature, but I want you to hear this information. So make sure that you're listening very carefully during this call. Okay, so essential oils, where do they come from? Well, they are basically concentrated plant extracts. And of course, here at Manatech, Manatech Associates are very familiar with tremendous products for your health that are various types of plant extracts that Manatech specializes in. Well, these are also plant extracts, so of course they're naturally occurring, and they are aromatic compounds. That's a big part of the fact they're aromatic compounds. Now, with this in mind, obviously the original history, the oldest history of this goes back to incense, and we'll talk more about that with frankincense, but going back into very ancient writings in ancient Mesopotamia, and then a little bit further in history in ancient Egypt and so on. And then, of course, you read about it in the original Hebrew Bible and as time goes forward there. So these are materials that come from the bark of some trees or the roots of some plants. And there are also some oils that come from portions of plants. It depends on what the oil is that we're talking about as to where it comes from. These are truly the concentrated essence of the plants. There's no question about that. And they are so concentrated when they're put into this liquid form that they tend to be very powerful by volume. Keep that in mind as I talk about a couple of the uses as we go forward. Um, Now, carrier oils. Why do we want to talk about those? Well, of course, there is the aromatic value, and that's what almost everybody thinks of. When you say essential oils, that's the first thing people think of. That the aromas may help you relax, or they may help you to feel more serene. They can help your mood. And there's just tons of literature written over the centuries that talk about various health promoting benefits of various aromas from these essential oils. But there is something else you can do with these. If you mix these oils into carrier oils, now you can apply them topically. So you can use them as massage oils, you can use them as oils to rejuvenate your skin, help you with skin irritation, skin dryness, skin problems of various types. But you need carrier oil to do that. And so, what are carrier oils? Where do they come from? Well, carrier oils are also plant derived, obviously, and these are often referred to as vegetable oils, but they come from seeds, and they come from kernels, and they come from nuts. And so the oils are literally crushed out of these things. So again, you need tremendous volumes of the material to get small amounts of the oil. So these carrier oils then can be made in different combinations. And of course, lots of companies have carrier oils, but you know that at Manitech, we don't do run of the mill mundane stuff. We only do things that are unique and special. And so that is also true with our two carrier oils. One of our carrier oils has glyconutrients in it. Now, that's a surprise, right? Well, actually, they both have glyconutrients in it. But the the first oil I'm going to talk about is an oil that is deliberately made to absorb very, very rapidly. Now, your aromatics in the essential oils, they evaporate fast. Even if you don't use a diffuser, they evaporate very fast. So it would not be economical to try and use them as as a massage oil by themselves. But if you put a little bit of this, and I'm going to tell you how to dilute them in a minute, so don't worry, I'll give you instructions what to do. But so you put a little bit of the essential oil, you mix it into the carrier oil, and now you can do really cool things. Now, the first carrier oil is our coconut and aloe. Coconut oil and aloe carrier oil. Now, this is an amazing oil. It's got a number of glyconutrients in it, and the coconut oil is deliberately fractionated. Now, the reason that we want to fractionate those molecules is because we want the oil to go into your skin very fast. Why would we want that? Well, this is the carrier oil that you're going to use if you have dry skin and you want to hydrate it, or if you have skin irritation that you want to help with, any of that sort of thing. And of course, this can be a great companion to our youth system of topicals. So I mean, it's very, very complementary to that. So if you want it to go into your pores very fast, then you mix it with our coconut and aloe carrier oil. And again, instructions in a few moments. This oil is very light. It is soothing to the touch. It's non-greasy, and the carrier itself is unscented deliberately because we want the scent of whatever essential oil you mix in there to dominate your mix. So it's deliberately unscented. Okay, and ideal for users with sensitivities to nut oils. So that's a good thing as well. Now, the second carrier oil that we have, this oil is meant to absorb very slowly. And this is our sweet almond and aloe carrier oil. And the sweet almond oil, the purpose of this, it's got fatty acids mixed into it. In fact, it's a very rich oil. You'll know that when you feel it, when the texture in your hands. So it's wonderful for nourishing your skin, and it's great for dry skin. And again, it absorbs very, very slowly. So it's ideal for massage. Now, if any of you listening right now happen to be business builders, here's another thought. If you didn't already think of it, it's ideal for massage therapists. And there are so many uses for massage therapists. They mix certain of our oils, which are known to be good for the skin and have various health supporting properties. They mix those in the carrier oil, in this case, the sweet almond and aloe oil, to massage with. It absorbs very slowly. It feels very nice on the skin. It's non-greasy. Has a really, it's got a sort of rich finish to it, I would say. And then at the same time, they can have their Manatech diffuser going in their office where they're doing the massage, and that can be releasing the aroma into the air of their essential oil of choice. So they'll have two oils going on right here, two different benefits going on right here. And this is a great, great thing for massage therapists. So just, doing a massage for a loved one, or helping out a professional to do it for more and more people. So, all right, how do we dilute it? You want to know, what are the guidelines? All right. Now, you're going to do this differently for adults and for children. Okay. So, for children, ages 4 and over, and those who have very, very sensitive skin, you want to blend 1 teaspoon of carrier oil for every single drop of essential oil, whichever the essentials that you've chosen. For adults, you're going to want to do 1 teaspoon of carrier oil for 2 drops of essential oil. And so this is, and again, have that diffuser going on in the background when you're doing your massage, because it does make a difference. It really does. Well, the oils, of course, I've mentioned they can be used aromatically in a diffuser, obviously. We at Manatech do not recommend internal ingestion of the oils. If you want to talk with your healthcare practitioner about that, that's up to you, but we don't make that recommendation at Manatech. So we want you to enjoy the benefits, inhaling, and also the topical benefits on your skin as well. Now, you can also create cleaners with the oil, and I'll do that very specifically with tea tree oil. But the nice thing about the oils is that they are free of solvents. There are no preservatives. There are no synthetics. We make sure that there are no modified DNA, no genetically modified DNA components in our oils. They are non-irradiated. They meet all of the standards for the International Fragrance Association, or the IFRA. You may see that on various labels and various websites that you go to. And the peppermint, lavender, orange, and lemon oils are all designated organic by by Quality Assurance International, or QAI, just so you know that. Now, I'm going to talk about the cleaning aspects in a little bit, but first, I want to talk about frankincense, because that was one of the 3 oils promised that we would talk about today. And frankincense is something that, of course, anyone who is a member of the Jewish, Christian, or Muslim religion has heard the word frankincense probably so many times, since you've been very, very young, particularly for Christians, with the Christmas story, with the 3 wise men, of course, bringing frankincense and myrrh to the baby Jesus. And why would one of these 3 wise men, who have been traveling for weeks across from Mesopotamia and all the way into Israel. Uh, why would they bother with just oil? Why would it be so valuable, folks? Frankincense in those days, in biblical times, frankincense was one of the most valuable things you could possibly possess. Some considered it more valuable than gold itself. Frankincense has a history, as I mentioned earlier, that goes back into ancient Mesopotamia. And if you don't know your history, that predates Egypt. That's earlier than ancient Egypt. And these ancient temples, they would use frankincense as incense that they would have burning during their religious ceremonies because they felt that it was so valuable that it was literally a sacrifice to the gods. So I mean, it just got a tremendous history, but it has so many. There's so many things. If you were to go on the internet, I'm not going to tell you everything that there is out there, but let me tell you what, folks, the health benefits associated historically with frankincense will knock your socks off. I mean, you just would not believe all of the things that have been listed, written in history for not just centuries, but millennia. It's amazing stuff. Just to give you an example, something that I personally like to do, and you can do it or not do it, it's up to you, but something I like to do, you know, when my joints are hurting me a little bit, I like to take a little bit of frankincense and mix it up into our carrier oil and put it on there, and it's kind of amazing how good that feels. You might, you just might want to try that. So, you know, if you got some joints that don't feel as good as you'd like them to, just mix some frankincense up in the carrier oil and put it on. Use the dilution examples I gave you a few moments ago. So you don't want to waste the oil. You don't need very much, tiny, tiny amounts of this stuff. It's amazing. In ancient times, ancient healers, they said that frankincense was good for just about everything. And of course, no one makes those kind of claims these days. But the point is, there are a lot of health properties with frankincense that we don't even talk about at Manatech. So you may want to explore some of those on your own. So frankincense is it's pretty amazing stuff. It really is pretty amazing stuff. Now, of course, what we talk about at Manatech is that it helps to support a balanced mood and relaxation as an aroma, and it does. It absolutely does. And if you have this in your diffuser, for those of you who have trouble sleeping at night, which, by the way, according to global statistics, that is a problem which is increasing every year in almost every country in the world. People are having trouble sleeping at night. It's getting to be a real problem. So you might want to put your diffuser in your bedroom and put some frankincense in the diffuser and start this up before you go to sleep. You give it an hour or so to really get sort of spread around your bedroom in the air, and then just let it run as you sleep. And you might find that your sleep has improved as well. And you just might find that you feel a little bit better in the morning. So, something to think about. Definitely something to try. It's more than just a pleasant aroma. I mean, after all, if it could please the ancient gods, it's got to be something going on with it, right? Okay, a little tongue in cheek there. So, this is the way that you will do it. If you're going to diffuse this as an aroma in your diffuser, 10 drops, or if you want to just inhale 5 drops, you can do that. But put 10 drops in your diffuser, and you should be able to get a really nice effect from that frankincense for a number of hours. So cool stuff. Frankincense is cool stuff. Do you know that even the ancient Egyptians used frankincense in the mummification process because they thought it was so important? It wasn't just the aroma, but they thought it was so important to, you know, life in the afterlife kind of thing. So just it's amazing stuff. Anyway, well, let's move on to the. I love history, as some of you know. I tend to get hung up in history sometimes because let's face it, what we are today is a result of what we were, right? I mean, that's history builds the future. Anyway, so the M5M calming blend, there are lots of oils, lots of essential oils that as one of their benefits, they may have a calming or soothing effect. Well, we made the M5M calming blend. It's a combination of different oils that are known to have historically tremendously soothing effects, and we blended them all together. And of course, we called it the M5M calming blend. The proceeds of from these oils is really doing a great deal to support children in our M5M program. And that, folks, is hugely important. You're getting all the benefits for your own health or the health of your family while you're also helping children who desperately need our help, folks, desperately all over the planet. You're doing such a good thing when you buy these oils and when you use these oils, such a good thing. So just that should help you feel good psychologically too. And that's got to be good for your health all by itself. Well, anyway, so what we say about our calming blend is that it can ease feelings of tension and stress and anxiety, that it supports a positive mood and enhances mental energy while supporting, at the same time, a sense of calm. That's a pretty unique combination of things that you can get from that aroma. Now, you might say, well, what's in the blend? What makes it special? Well, this is an organic blend of sweet orange peel oil, which has a long history of being a very calming oil, and patchouli oil. And some people use patchouli oil as a perfume. And in fact, a lot of our essential oils have been used historically as perfumes, and you'll know that when you smell them yourself. There's also a flower in Asia called the ylang ylang flower, and that's spelled with a Y. Uh, and uh, and that, of course, has a long history. And one of the most famous of all of the essential oils, which was used from medieval times in Europe forward, is called Roman chamomile flower oil. And there's lots and lots of history about that oil. The Crusaders, who they going to the Middle East, obviously, to do their dirty deeds, they return to Europe with a lot of things. And one of the things they return to Europe with are essential oils from Mesopotamia and the Middle East. And then these oils become tremendously popular and also tremendously valuable, being traded by traders coming from the Middle East throughout the Middle Ages. Very, very popular. So Roman chamomile flower oil is a big one. And that is all mixed together with black spruce needle oil. And these are all mixed together in the same blend, the M5M calming blend. And because of the properties of these different oils, this is how you can end up with having enhanced mental energy while at the same time having a calming effect as well as a mood elevating effect all at the same time. It's a pretty interesting blend. And so not only are you going to enjoy it, your body's going to enjoy it, your mind is going to enjoy it, but all those kids who need our help, they're going to enjoy the help that they get from us providing nutrition for their lives. And that's just super, super important stuff. Okay, so that's the calming blend. And then we get to one of my favorites, and it's tea tree oil. Tea tree oil, and interestingly enough, the origin of tea tree oil, it's actually the tree it comes from is called the Melaleuca tree, and it's native to Australia. Wow. So we're bringing it back to you. So you've got it right there. Now, tea tree oil is pretty amazing stuff. If you talk to a naturopath and that naturopath knows their oils, boy, are you going to learn a lot about tea tree oil and all the benefits. Now, at Manatech, of course, we are not even listing all the benefits of tea tree oil. And I really strongly recommend that you do a little homework on your own and, go out there and use the old Google search thing, and you are going to be astounded with the number of benefits from tea tree oil. And tea tree oil, of course, is now being used commercially, really, around the world in all kinds of products, particularly in products that are made for the hair or for the nails. And that's because of various properties that you have here. If you have skin irritation, tea tree oil can be great. Remember, mix it into your carrier oil for that. You want to use this if you have problems with your scalp, if you simply want to make that scalp healthier. But there are a lot of times where there are different things going on with the scalp, and you mix your tea tree in there with some carrier oil, massage it in real nicely, and there are some real positive effects for that. And of course, healthy nails. That's any naturopath you talk to is going to talk to you about tea tree oil and your nails for sure. And again, you mix it with your carrier oil and just go ahead and apply it right on your nails and around the cuticle areas around the nails as well when you apply it, and to get the benefit for your nails as well. Obviously, it can be diffused as an aromatic oil for its benefits. But one thing that is super, super beneficial about tea tree oil is its cleansing properties. It's an amazing cleaner. I mean, when you diffuse it, it's actually helping to clean your air in your room. That's pretty amazing. But also, it can be a really effective, very amazing household cleaner. Now, some of you have read my book, How to Survive on a Toxic Planet, which unfortunately is out of print. Uh, I wish it wasn't, but it is. And so, but those of you who've read it, you've heard me talk extensively about various chemicals in our environment and in our homes that are adversely affecting our health and the health of our pets. So you want to be able to have a cleaner that doesn't have any side effects. It doesn't have any negative effects on your health or anything in your home. And folks, tea tree oil pretty much is your answer. Tea tree oil, and what I like to do is I like to mix the tea tree oil with our lemon essential oil. You mix those together, and boy, you've got a massively powerful and effective cleaner. And you can use this cleaner to replace so many chemicals. Because the average person, they go to the store and they buy this cleaner or that cleaner. They see it advertised on TV or, prominently displayed in the supermarket. And they don't realize what kind of chemical they're bringing into their home and putting into their bodies and the bodies of their family members and even their pets. So I just want you folks to be aware of these things. And I want you to know that you have the potential for replacing those things with a tea tree oil cleaner that's organic, that doesn't have any negative effects at all, zero, none. And it's a great cleaner. It cleans your air, and it can clean all kinds of things in your home. And I'll tell you how to mix it up in just a little bit. So with this in mind, you just have the benefits with the tea tree oil are amazing. Now I know that this is I think Sinead, you said this was a temporary offer, but man, I'll tell you what, you folks are going to want tea tree oil. I mean, just you're going to want this in your home once you realize what you can do with it and how valuable it is to you. You may want to buy a bunch of bottles because we have the same thing in the U.S. where we'll get these oils once a year, maybe. And, when they're gone, and you can't get them until the next year. So in the US, the associates, they've learned this already, and they buy a bunch of bottles, so it'll get them through the rest of the year until we have the oils again. But let me just talk about a couple of these chemicals because I just, it's so important to me. Obviously, all of you know how important your health is to me. And a big, big part of how healthy you can be is what kind of chemicals you surround yourself with. And hopefully as few as possible, but you may not know what, in fact, most people I talk to don't know. So you can be taking the very best nutritional supplements on the planet. And if you're a Manitech associate, of course you are. But even so, there are chemicals that, boy, you just don't want them around. For instance, there are a number of synthetic chemicals which are basically known as endocrine disruptors. Now, the endocrine disruptors are things that actually mess with your hormones and sometimes really seriously mess with your hormones. These are commonly found. These are made by industry, they're synthetic, and they are commonly found in household products. Air fresheners are full of them. Uh, start freshening your air with our essential oils, okay? Because there's nothing in those that can harm you, and there's a lot of benefits to it. But most of your air fresheners commercially are have significant levels of endocrine disruptors or glandular disruptors, hormone disruptors, if you will. So they're in dish soap. They're even, these chemicals are even in toilet paper. I mean, it's pretty hard to get away from this stuff, but it's there. Obviously, you can shop carefully, as I do on the rare occasions that I'm home in Dallas. But most people don't. But as far as the cleaning products that contain these endocrine disruptors, you can replace them with your tea tree oil cleaner. And the same thing with air fresheners. You can replace those using our diffuser and whichever of the essential oils you choose at any particular time for that purpose. Now, there's a chemical which is supposed to be banned, but like many chemicals in the environment today, there's no way to know for sure how much of it lingers all around us. Now, this chemical, which by the way, for many, many years was put in liquid dish soap and hand soap and antibacterial, anything that said antibacterial. It was even in toothpaste. Yep, we were brushing our teeth with this stuff. It's called triclosan. Nasty stuff. So nasty that it has been banned in the United States. It has not been banned in every country in the world. I'm not sure if you have it there in Australasia or not, in your three nations in our Australasian sphere. Um, but even after it was banned in the United States, it was still present for at least another year in products. And I'm sure it's still in the environment, triclosan. You can check on the internet in your country and find out if triclosan still exists in your products, but it's nasty. And the reason it was there is because it does have a very strong antibacterial effect. But it is also one of the leading contributing causes to drug-resistant bacteria because it's gone into the environment at such huge, incredible, enormous levels that it's actually making nasty bacteria stronger every year, and none of us need that. So again, another reason, this is just another example that folks you need, please. I'm so concerned about your health, the health of everyone that I talk with and try and help. This is why I want you to use our products internally. But folks, you've got to clean up your personal environment as well. You need to do this. You don't know how important this is. There are also a long list of compounds which, again, are used as antibacterial that have not been banned anywhere that I know of, and chemists refer to them as quats. And quats are they're pretty nasty. And what they do, again, they cause bacteria to get stronger and stronger and to become antibiotic resistant. They are nasty. It would be so wonderful if we could get, think about it. Think about if you could get everybody in your country to stop using this stuff and replace it with stuff that was healthy, that was safe. Because you find these quats in fabric softeners, in almost every type of household cleaner that you can mention, if that household cleaner says it's antibacterial. Uh, and uh, and these things can not just irritate your skin, they can cause respiratory problems. It's just nasty. And there's also another uh, group of chemicals that you will find again in products which are solvents. So, kitchen cleaners, window cleaners, multi-purpose cleaners, and this stuff, uh, it's so nasty. And folks, I'm just recommending very, very strongly to you that, get your tea tree oil, get a bunch of it, okay? Because we may not have this product available to you again for even another year. It's possible. So you get a bunch of this stuff, and then you need to start making your own um, cleaner. Now you might say to me, okay, you keep saying this. Now how do I make the cleaner? Tell me what to do. All right, I'm glad you asked me that. You're going to start with, oh, let me see. I'm thinking in the British imperial system because we still use it in America. We do metrics. It's going to be about 250 ml approximately of water. Get yourself a spray bottle, and I know that you can buy empty spray bottles at the grocery store. And so get yourself a spray bottle, and you're going to want to put about about 250 ml. That's the way it'd work out. In the spray bottle, and you're going to combine. And folks, use purified water. Don't use tap water. Tap water defeats the whole purpose of this, right? So use purified water, about 250 ml. And then you're going to put in 2 teaspoons of a Manitech tea tree oil. And then you're going to put in 2 teaspoons of Manitech lemon essential oil. And then 4 tablespoons of white vinegar. Okay, so 250 ml of purified water, not tap water. And you're going to put in 2 teaspoons of tea tree oil, 2 teaspoons of lemon essential oil, and 4 tablespoons of white vinegar. Mix it up, and you now have a spray cleaner. And you can use this spray cleaner for just about every purpose you can think of. It's got some solvent properties in it, and all manner of excellent cleaning properties with absolutely no negative effects. And especially if you do this, get yourself a microfiber cloth. Do they call it that do they call it that there, microfiber? Okay. So get yourself a microfiber cloth and use it with this mix, and you have a perfect combination to get things cleaned up. And then you can take all of that toxic stuff out of your house, just take it out, take it over to wherever your city has their disposal area for toxic chemicals, because that's what that junk is. Okay. Now, I know it's not labeled that way in the grocery store, but that's what it is. And just get rid of the stuff. So then you'll be putting the best products in the world inside of your body. You'll be inhaling the benefits of the best essential oils that you can in your air. You can clean your air with a tea tree oil as well in the diffuser. Then you can clean your environment completely with this new tea tree oil and lemon oil cleaner, again with a little bit of white vinegar mixed in there, and think about the benefits of soothing your skin and the potential skin irritations, and massaging that you can do as a massage oil. And remember, I'll just mention this to you once again. I personally, because you've those of you who know me, I have a lot of problems from decades ago, that injuries that didn't heal up very well, and I'm in a lot of discomfort, pain, and inflammation all the time. And I like to put that frankincense oil in mix it with the carrier oil, and just rub it right on those joints, and you'd be amazed, folks. You'd be amazed. So you may just want to do